Can we talk about one? I want to get one thing in before we move on.
Yes.
So, something from the Hawks game.
I know what you're gonna say here. Go for it.
What is LeBron's role for the Lakers? He's the offense, right? Right? Theoretically, right? That's
Yes.
he's the offense.
The fulcrum.
AD, he's the defense. Basically. Very, very broadly speaking. But like your offense isn't going to work if you don't have LeBron.
That's an appropriate.
Your defense is not supposed to work if you don't have AD, right? Like those are the most important cogs, I think. So what was weird to me about watching the Hawks game is their offense was great. It was one of those nights where like everybody just made every shot. They literally had the best first half of any team in the NBA this entire season.
I think since 2011 they had the.
For the Lakers, I think.
That was just for the Lakers. Yeah, they
but
shot 72% or something. Yeah,
it was 71%.
Yeah.
But literally, they scored 71 points on 71% shooting.
Yeah.
But literally, that's the best any team has been in all season. So they had an awesome offense, and they had Anthony Davis. So why was the defense bad? Why did they let the Hawks parade to the rim over and over and over again throughout literally the entire game? And they only lost because they just stopped hitting impossible shots. So I know people were frustrated with the shot selection down the stretch, and like, okay, maybe Malik Monk should have given the ball back to Anthony Davis and then gotten a better look, whatever. Like
he admitted that he should have, but
they still shot over 40% from three and scored 120 points.
Malik Monk had 33.
Yeah, I don't think the issue here is like, oh, we like didn't have like if LeBron's there, like yeah, you close the game with stronger offense, like that's what he does. Like not even a conversation. Sure. But why was the defense bad? We had Anthony Davis. Like what happened? So I went back. I watched the fourth quarter.
The Hawks are awesome on offense.
The Hawks are awesome on offense.
And Trey got cooking. Hit some tough shots. I'm just caveating what I know you're gonna. The what you're about to dive into. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, all of that is fair. Like if those guys play badly, like none of this matters, right? Like Trey executed absolutely. This was weird to me. Clint Capella last year was a very good player. He was like probably. I don't know if he was all NBA, but he was close. He was like close to being an all NBA third team center. Mm-hmm. He was very good. Last night or yesterday morning, he was a minus 15, and Okongwu was like plus 20 or something, plus 12 or something like that. And he sat for Okongwu to close the game.
Yeah.
So in the beginning of the game, John Collins was hitting these just like nasty, like Kobe-esque, Kuzma-esque mid-rangers. Just draining him in every Lakers face, nothing they could do about it. So they put AD on him, and he just couldn't get those shots anymore. Like you're just not shooting over AD. You're shooting over Stanley Johnson. You're not shooting over AD.
Yeah.
So they threw him on him. Then he cooled way off. Didn't really have it going in the second half. AD's still on him. Then the Hawks, every time down the floor, AD's sitting on the perimeter, and they're just going, okay, Stanley, you're on Okongwu. We're putting you in the pick and roll every single time. Every single time. And Stanley is showing too high, and then getting the lob thrown over his head or not coming close enough, and Trey's beating him to the rim. Like 5 or 6 possessions down the stretch. Like that's like a dozen points. Like that's how they erased the lead so quickly. And maybe if this is Ty Lue and not Frank Vogel, a better in-game adjuster, like AD moves to Okongwu and Stanley goes to John Collins, because like, you can live or die with a guy like drilling shots over your head, but you cannot live or die with the other team literally getting a dunk on every possession. Yeah. Like you're going to die. You're not going to live.
Yeah.
So Trey was like, I mean, you can go watch the tape, but he's like inventing basketball geometry angles that I've never seen before with Okongwu, just like throwing lobs over Stanley Johnson's head. Okongwu might be a really special player. Somebody from Hawks Twitter said that he might be a top 30 player.
He was a top 5 pick. Yeah.
In the future. I think he was 6, but yeah, he was a high lottery pick. And he might be really, really good. So like that's another thing. Like maybe we caught another team as they just explode and they're actually not, struggling. They're actually awesome, et cetera, et cetera.
7 in a row, yeah.
Nonetheless, you shouldn't give up 38 points in the fourth quarter and blow an 11-point lead.
30,
and like
38 to 20 was the fourth, yeah.
I just think like Vogel needed to make that switch. I saw it on film later. I didn't play or coach basketball at a high level. That felt like something that needs to happen. It was pretty obvious to me.
Yeah, and I think this is